Right, so today I want to discuss a report regarding the budget iPads that I think could be referring to the M2 iPad Pros instead, and so let's delve into it. So Makatakara, a pretty credible source, gave us some tidbits regarding the budget iPads, and most of it made no sense. But the tidbit I want to point out is the camera being relocated on the front to the landscape orientation. Now this part of the report immediately made me think of the iPad Pro because there's been leaked renders and also tidbits from other sources suggesting we could see this with the higher end iPads. And well, to be honest, I have been unsure about this for a long time because, number one, center stage did kind of fix the awkward angle the iPad Pro's camera was when in landscape, but also the magnets for the pencil would be directly above the camera placement if it was in landscape, and so I doubt that Apple has any physical space up there to, of course, give us a decent camera on the front. But hey, let's say Apple does use some sort of voodoo magic to make this happen, then of course, I'm sure we're going to see this with the iPad Pros and not the budget iPad. And so I guess there is still a good chance we could see this with the iPad Pros, in which case it would be a great change, but I'm still unsure how Apple's going to pull this off, especially since there are limitations with the space within the product. Anyways, in case you're wondering about the upgrades we can expect with these M2 iPads, the main upgrade is going to be MagSafe, and we could get both forms of this. So we have some reports telling us a glass logo is coming to the back that of course enables wireless and also reverse charging on this iPad. The latter especially is going to be great because this could essentially be a massive power bank that can charge your devices on the go, and that's going to be pretty convenient. But there are also some suggesting we could see the MagSafe port we get on the Macs on this iPad that could maybe allow you to use the Thunderbolt port for peripherals when charging the iPad. But yeah, personally I do have my doubts over this. I don't see Apple giving us both forms of MagSafe with this iPad. It's solely going to be the iPhone form in my opinion, so yes, you should be able to wirelessly charge your iPad. And really that's the only big upgrade to note. Obviously we're going to see the M2 chip in this, it should be better than the M1 chip, but of course all this power's kinda wasted with the iPad, and to make things worse, we are going to get more RAM on this, 24 gigs of RAM like the MacBooks. And yeah, that's going to be completely pointless. We could also get new colours with these iPads. There's been rumours regarding a light blue, but personally I doubt that. I think we could see a gold instead. And also we could see camera improvements with the iPhone 13 cameras now on the back. That's still kinda overkill for the iPads, and I doubt many are going to care about this. And for those wondering if the 11-inch iPad is finally getting mini LED, unfortunately that's not the case. Ross Young tells us there's been a massive boost in sales because the 12.9-inch model has mini LEDs, so of course Apple wants to upsell you to the higher end iPads and make more profits, so they are going to continue that differentiation between these two sizes. And I'm not looking forward to that because the 11-inch iPad Pro already is very hard to justify when of course M1's now in the iPad Air 5, and so giving it mini LED would have given it the upper hand, but of course Apple cares more about profits. And by the way, since we do believe the budget iPad's going to get Magic Keyboard support, there is a very good chance that accessory comes down in price to be more accessible for those iPad users, and Apple gives us a Magic Keyboard Pro that of course caters to the Pro market. Now there has not been leaks regarding this, but patents have suggested we could see Magic Keyboards with a pencil holder built in, which of course we could see with the Pro variant. Also a function row and more ports would be nice, and a better material choice because the current keyboards don't age that well, so of course using aluminium instead like Bridge does with their keyboards would be great. I'm also hoping we get a new pencil because the second gen was released all the way back in 2018, so it's time for a refresh, and I'm hoping for a matte black option and also new gestures. And by the way, for those wanting production updates regarding these iPads, Minchiko does tell us that mass production will begin in Q4 2022, so that is between October and December I believe, so yes, that does line up with this releasing at an October event. Anyways, let's delve into your comments regarding these iPads. So KingCake1103 says, they might announce the specs of the M2 iPad Pro, make it available to pre-order and all of that on September 7th, but only start shipping them out in October with iPadOS. And yeah, that can definitely be the case because Apple has done this in the past with many products like the iPad Air 4 and the Apple Watch Series 7, so of course, following suit with the new iPads, yeah, that could make sense. However, I will say that Apple's most likely not going to allow us to pre-order this on the day of the iPhone event. I do see Apple announcing those details at the October event, again like they've done with previous releases. But yeah, this really could make sense because we have seen cases on Amazon releasing on September 7th, so of course that could be suggesting the date these will be revealed on stage, but they should of course release to the public in October instead. So FB London says, do you think Apple's going to release any Pro apps for these M2 iPads? And while there's been literally nothing regarding that, but I'm hoping that is the case, obviously we could see 24 gigs of RAM with these new iPads, and so to justify having all that RAM, they should give us actual professional apps on the iPad, like Final Cut for example, that of course can utilize the performance of the M2 chip. It's just a little worrying that we have not heard much about this, but of course with the delay in the iPadOS 16 release, maybe Apple does have some features they will announce with this iPad that ties into the additional performance these iPads have. Sonic3Tech says, I wish the 14-inch iPad did release this year, he would buy it in a heartbeat, and they plan to use it for drawing, and yes, I can see this being very popular in the art space. This would be an amazing digital canvas, and I do hope we see this launch relatively soon, though of course, I do want to mention there is some confusion regarding this being a bigger version of the iPad Pro or the Air, because while Mark Gurman told us we're going to see bigger versions of the iPad Pros, Ross Young believes, no, that's not going to be the case. This will be a bigger version of the iPad Air with a 60Hz LCD panel on the front. And I personally do have my doubts over this. I know Ross Young's very credible, but that just makes no sense. Surely the cheaper iPads should have screen sizes that are smaller than the Pro variants. And so yeah, personally I do think the Air's gonna get the existing 12.9-inch size, and then the bigger Pro becomes 14 inches. Anyways, that's about it guys, but tell me your thoughts regarding these reports in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the above on details regarding the M2 iPad Pros, and on that note, see ya peeps.